Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's brightest rookie star, vanished from the spotlight without explanation. No injury, no suspension, just gone. Within minutes of the news breaking, her teammates Sophie Cunningham and Lexie unleashed a firestorm of accusations, exposing a league allegedly manipulating its players through favoritism, media control, and power plays. Their bold statements, Sophie's claim of retaliation and Lexie's warning about the league's treatment of its stars, ignited a rebellion among players and fans, threatening to reshape the WNBA's future. As locker rooms fracture and the league scrambles to contain the fallout, this controversy reveals a deeper struggle over control, loyalty, and the cost of silencing a phenomenon. Began subtly. Caitlin Clark's name disappeared from the Indiana Fever's starting lineup. No warm-up, no injury report, no official word, just absence. 23-year-old phenom, leading her team in points and assists while driving unprecedented WNBA ratings, was suddenly sidelined. Fans noticed immediately, their confusion turning to outrage as speculation swirled. Insiders whispered of load management or disciplinary issues, but nothing added up. Clark hadn't broken rules, missed practices, or underperformed. Her stats, averaging 20 points, 6 assists per game, were stellar, her post-game interviews candid, her influence undeniable. She wasn't just a player, she was a movement, filling arenas and drawing new fans to a league long craving mainstream attention. Then came the leaks. Sources close to the Fever and the WNBA hinted at tensions between Clark and league executives. Her outspokenness, calling out tone-deaf marketing decisions in a closed-door meeting, reportedly ruffled feathers. She criticized the league's focus on outdated branding over engaging younger fans, a stance that resonated widely but threatened the status quo. Within 48 hours, her minutes dwindled. By 72 hours, she was benched. Now, her presence seemed erased. No press conferences, no media access, just a chilling blackout. The WNBA's silence suggested a calculated move to dim a star whose influence was growing too large too fast. The league underestimated the response. Fans, already protective of Clark, erupted. The absence of an explanation fueled theories of retaliation. Was she being punished for her voice? For her popularity? The WNBA's refusal to address the issue only deepened suspicions. Then Sophie Cunningham, Clark's teammate, broke the silence with a post-game interview that shook the league. "You don't sideline your biggest star unless you're scared of her power," she said, her voice sharp, unapologetic. The room froze. Reporters scrambled to process the accusation. The WNBA was targeting Clark not for basketball reasons but to control her influence. Sophie doubled down on her podcast, Show Me Something, accusing the league of political games and prioritizing control over progress. "Clark's not benched for performance," she said. "This is retaliation." The next day, Lexie joined the fray. After practice, she faced cameras with a steely gaze and delivered a line that echoed across sports. "If Caitlin Clark can be treated like this, what do you think they'll do to the rest of us?" The room fell silent, her words a warning to every player in the league. Lexie didn't stop there. In a team meeting, she reportedly confronted coaches, demanding answers about why the Fever's top draw was sidelined. Teammates backed her, revealing a locker room on edge. Whispers of fractures emerged, veterans loyal to the league's old guard versus younger players rallying behind Clark's cause. Lexie's cryptic follow-up, a black-and-white photo of herself and Clark captioned "Loyalty," hinted at deeper betrayals, possibly within the team or management. The WNBA's response only worsened the crisis. After 2 days of silence, the league issued a vague statement, calling Clark's absence a strategic rotational decision and urging fans to trust the process. Corporate tone and lack of transparency enraged fans and players alike. Sophie responded with a subtle eye-roll emoji on social media, a silent but scathing rebuke that resonated widely. Lexie reposted a clip of the statement with the caption, "So we're pretending this is normal now?" Her sarcasm cut deep, amplifying distrust. Analysts, including a former WNBA player, called the move shady, noting that rotational decisions don't erase an MVP candidate without reason. The numbers told a grim story. Clark's jersey sales dropped, ticket returns surged, and arenas once sold out for her games faced empty seats. Sponsors, sensing the backlash, reportedly sought clarification from the league, a polite warning of potential withdrawal. Behind closed doors, the WNBA was fracturing. Locker rooms across the league grew tense, with players splitting into camps. Veterans, accustomed to navigating the league's politics, stayed silent, wary of risking their careers. Younger players, inspired by Clark's boldness, began organizing. Sources reported off-the-record discussions among players from multiple teams, frustrated by the league's outdated power dynamics. Lexie was said to be rallying a coalition of younger athletes, urging them to demand transparency and fair treatment. A deleted tweet from her account, "If you want to build a legacy, stop silencing the ones who create it," spread rapidly, fueling speculation it targeted executives or complicit media. The message was clear: players were done staying quiet. Sophie and Lexie's defiance escalated in a joint interview broadcast live across sports networks. Sophie, unflinching, declared, "If this is how you treat the player who built your league, no one's safe." Her words reframed the controversy as a threat to every athlete's autonomy. Lexie added, "We've been told to stay quiet for too long. Not anymore." The interview was a turning point, described by commentators as the most honest moment in league history. Rival players began showing support, some with subtle gestures, liking posts, sharing clips, others with bolder statements. A veteran from another team tweeted, "Say it louder," signaling a shift in the league's culture. The fallout was immediate. Fans launched campaigns targeting sponsors, urging them to back players or risk losing support. Independent media outlets published exposés on the WNBA's internal politics, unearthing stories of past players silenced or benched for speaking out. Clark's absence became a symbol of a larger fight against favoritism, control, and a league struggling to adapt to its new era of vocal, influential stars. Merch sales plummeted further, with reports of sponsors reconsidering partnerships. The WNBA's attempt at damage control, a second statement promising review, felt hollow, failing to address Clark's status or the accusations of retaliation. In locker rooms, tensions boiled. Players whispered about loyalty, some avoiding eye contact, others openly questioning management. A leaked report claimed Fever coaches faced internal pushback, with players demanding clarity on Clark's benching. The divide wasn't just within teams but across the league, pitting those who accepted the status quo against those who saw Clark's treatment as a warning. Sophie and Lexie emerged as leaders of this rebellion, their voices amplifying a growing movement. Sophie's podcast became a platform for unfiltered truth, with episodes dissecting the league's power plays. Lexie's quiet intensity, her refusal to soften her stance, galvanized younger players who began sharing their own stories of being pressured to conform. The league's silence on Clark's status only deepened the crisis. No updates on her return, no acknowledgement of the controversy, just a void where her presence once dominated. Yet her absence spoke louder than any statement. Arenas felt it, empty seats in cities that once buzzed with Clark mania. Broadcasters felt it, ratings dipped without her highlights. The WNBA, banking on her star power to elevate the league, now faced the consequences of dimming it. Insiders reported executives in crisis meetings, scrambling to craft a narrative that could quell the uprising without admitting fault. Sophie and Lexie, undeterred, kept the pressure on. In a Fever practice, Sophie reportedly wore a shirt with "Where's Caitlin?" printed in bold letters, a silent protest that cameras caught. Lexie, in a post-practice scrum, hinted at broader player unrest. "We're talking. Not just here, but everywhere. This isn't over." Their defiance inspired others. A player from the Chicago Sky posted a cryptic message, "Stars shine. Don't clip their wings." Another from the Las Vegas Aces shared a photo of Clark's jersey with "respect" written across it. The movement was no longer just about Clark. It was about every player who felt muzzled by the league's old guard. The WNBA faced a reckoning. Fans boycotted games, chanting "Free Caitlin" outside arenas. Media outlets, once hesitant, began questioning the league's transparency. A veteran coach, speaking anonymously, admitted, "This isn't about basketball. It's about who controls the narrative." The league's attempt to frame Clark's absence as routine crumbled under scrutiny. Her stats, leading the Fever in scoring, assists, and minutes, contradicted claims of rotation. Her influence, driving a 30% spike in WNBA viewership, made her erasure inexplicable. The truth was emerging. Clark's benching was a power move, a warning to players who dared to challenge the league's authority. As the controversy raged, Clark herself remained silent, her absence a powerful statement. Rumors swirled of her meeting with lawyers, hinting at potential legal action. Others claimed she was quietly supporting Sophie and Lexie, letting them lead the charge. Her silence amplified their voices, turning their defiance into a rallying cry. The WNBA, once celebrated for its progress, now faced accusations of regressing, favoring control over talent, silence over truth. Sophie and Lexie stand exposed, a league at a crossroads: embrace its stars or risk losing them. By week's end, the uprising showed no signs of slowing. Players from 4 teams reportedly held private meetings, discussing ways to demand accountability. Fans planned protests at the next Fever game, vowing to wear Clark's jersey in solidarity. Sophie and Lexie, now faces of the rebellion, prepared for their next move, a joint podcast episode promising the full story. The WNBA, caught off guard, faced a choice: reinstate Clark and address the accusations, or double down and risk alienating its players and fans. The league's legacy hung in the balance, shaped by 2 women who refused to stay silent and a star whose absence spoke loudest of all. Caitlin Clark's unexplained absence from the WNBA sparked outrage, with teammates Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull accusing the league of retaliating against her for her outspokenness and influence. Their bold statements, Sophie's claim of retaliation and Lexie's warning about player treatment, ignited a player-led rebellion, exposing favoritism and control within the WNBA. As locker rooms fracture and fans boycott, the league's vague responses only fuel the crisis. Clark's silence, paired with Sophie and Lexie's defiance, threatens to reshape the WNBA, demanding a future where stars are celebrated, not silenced. Stay tuned for updates on this unfolding drama. Follow for more on how Sophie, Lexie, and Clark are challenging the WNBA's status quo.